together for our old sailor from the war, Old Johnny.
And the wife and I had a bit of an argument when I got into the house, and she's shouting, "I'll dance on your grave, I'll dance on your grave." I says, "Please yourself, I'm getting buried at sea." Oh, she fancies herself, you know. Oh, she fancies herself. Well, she says, "What would you do if you came home some night and you got me on the couch with another man? What would you do?" I says, "I would shoot his guide dog." We went out for a meal the other night there, and I took her into the restaurant, and you know how they come round with the menu and everything else, and the waiter said, "What would you like, sir?" I says, "I'll have the roast beef." He says, "What about the mad cow?" I says, "Ask her yourself." I says, "Do you like scampi?" "Oh," she says, "I like all the Walt Disney films." But we had 4 of the family. We would have had 5 when the wheel came off the pram. And our daughter Winnie was getting married, and you know, we were all at the wedding, and it was a super afternoon and everything else. But Winnie is like her mum. She's got a big mouth. Oh, she could eat a banana sideways. She could. And she was lying sleeping in the hotel on her honeymoon, with her mouth wide open, and a moose crawled in. And our husband was in a terrible state. He says, "What will I do, what will I do?" I said, "Well, look, until we get it round there, I'll get it in as quick as we can." But I said, "Get a piece of cheese and dangle it in front of her mouth, and that'll entice the wee moose, you see, and it'll be fine. You'll be all right, don't worry about it. I'll get there as quick as we can." So we got there, by Joseph, it was nearly 3/4 of an hour before we got there. But we got there anyway, and he's dangling this big fish, a big haddock in front of him. I said, no, I told you to get a piece of cheese." He says, "I know, but we've got to get the cat out first." Talking of cats, there was 2 cats walking down the main street in Pitlochry, a big posh cat and a wee stray cat. And the big posh cat said, "I'm having 6 kittens for my birthday." And the wee stray cat says, "I'm having 6 kittens for my birthday as well." And the big posh cat said, "Yes, but my kittens are going to be Persian kittens." And the wee stray cat says, "Well, I don't know what mine are going to be. My head was in a salmon tin at the time." But you get the job of the babysitting. You know, I'm sure you have them here, the grandparents look after the grandchildren. And I was sentenced to do that the other night there. I had to look after the grandchildren, and the 2 of them are away in their beds, like sleeping like lambs, and I'm sitting in the sitting room. The television was away to the Never Never Land, and the radio was broken. And you're sitting there and you put your hand under the cushions to see if there's any money or anything, you know. And I put my hand, and I got this children's comic. It's called Playboy. Yeah, I see you've read it. Well, I'll never read it again. I don't know, was it a twisted cheese I had for my breakfast tea that night or what it was. But my goodness, what a dream I had. I was dreaming I was chasing Rachel Welsh through this wood of trees, and she'd on a very thin negligible. And as she was going through the trees, the branches were tearing off bits of her negligible. And she was just doing about the last bit of the negligible when by God I woke up. I'll tell you something, I'll make sure my bed early tonight. Talking of beds and sleeping and that, anybody snores? Problems of snoring here? Anybody got a snoring problem? Well, this next door neighbour of mine has a terrible man to snore. And every night he's home snoring his head off. And his wife said, I'm at my wit's end, you know. She said, I don't know what to do. She said, I can't get a night's sleep for him. It's ridiculous. And her pal said, well, I'll tell you, there's an old cure, she said, but a very, very, very good one. She says, what to do is, when he comes home the next night, and he's into the bedroom, go up to the bedroom, pull down the bedclothes till you come to the battle area. Then get a piece of string. It doesn't need to be a big piece of string. And tie it round his periwinkle, and he'll stop snoring just like that, and he'll not snore for the rest of the night. Oh, she says, I'll try anything, my goodness, this is ridiculous. And that next night he came home singing at the top of his voice, Scotty Bartland died the door thee. And he's into the bedroom and he's away. She thought, right, I'll fix it. Well, she searched about, could she find a piece of string? No, couldn't find a piece of string anywhere. Then she remembered she got a box of chocolates for her birthday, and she got the blue ribbon off the box. Up to the bedroom, down with the bedclothes till she came to the battle area, and she tied the blue ribbon round his periwinkle, and he stopped just like that, and he never snored for the rest of the night. Oh, she says, that's marvellous. I've had a great night's sleep. I feel so refreshed this morning. And he came down for his breakfast, and she says, well, I don't know where you were last night. You were in disgrace when you came home last night. He says, I don't know where I was either, but wherever I was, I won first prize. Walking past the chemist the other day, and I saw my pal Johnny, and I said, Johnny, what were you doing in there? Oh, he says, I was in getting these Viagra tablets. Oh, he says, can you get it over the counter? He says, aye, you take two. But the wife's always writing me letters and sending me notes from home. And you're always getting the letters from her. And we'll tell you all about it in this wee song. And we're going to write a letter back to her. And her name is Maggie.
I wander today to the hills, Maggie, to watch the evening roll. The creek and the creaking of mills, Maggie, as we did in days long ago. You looked a wee bit pale, and when I knew you better, I took you for a sail. I'd a dandy new straw basher and a wee black and day. I wore my best new Sunday suit and my father's watch and chain. An apprentice and his lassie, both were helped were young and gay. And when our time was out, we put the bands up right away. With only a room and kitchen, my name was on the door, the rent was 4 and 2pence, and I felt like paying more.
So the two of us were happy. Then we knew there would be three. That's the time of doctor making ends meet. It's the time I went to sea. When your letter said, dear Daddy, it's a boy, jinx what a shock. I nearly swung the ship around to get back to Princess Dock. Then soon there was two, then three, then four, the house was full. And soon you were writing, they were doing well at school. I put the ornamental and I sat my ticket then, and soon I saw the babies, lovely women and fine men. Tom became an architect, Woody married well. We Alec rose the manager in a fancy big hotel. Both became a doctor, up we're proud of how they've grown. But the house is kinda empty now, the old folks are alone. I ventured for a lady, but I left it counterfeit. I thought there'd be my fox, but although we both were fit. When we started out in life to face what all the years we said. The years are gone, but we'll go on together. Till the end. Where first the daisy strong, but to me you're as fair as you were, Maggie, when you and I were young, when you and I were young. Oh, Maggie. There we are. My goodness. And you know, I was just thinking there, there was a wee story that one of the sailors told me about the minister who had problems with his waterworks. And he said to the beetle, he said, look, he said, I'm having trouble with my waterworks, he said, and what am I going to do about it? When I do my sermon, I'm there for about an hour, and I have to dash off, you know. And the beetle said, look, he said, don't worry, sir, I'll get you a bucket, and we'll put it under the pulpit, and nobody will notice it's there. And he said, and when you do a prayer, he said, just bend down and do your needful and get back and on with your sermon. He says, well, that's a fantastic job. Well done. That's what a wonderful idea. So the next Sunday when he's doing his sermon, he's doing this and doing the prayers up and down and up and underneath the pulpit and everything else. Unknown to him, there's two painters working up at the very top of the rafters, and they're working away, and one painter said to the other, oh, he says, I don't know what kind of religion these folk are, he says, we're Catholics and we've never done anything like that in the church before. And the other guy said, no, we're Protestants, he said, and we don't do anything like that before either. He says, they must be Episcopalians. So, there we are, a song you can all sing along and join in. Sailing Home, and it goes a wee bit like this. Here we go. All the men to man the capstan, see the cables running free, sing around and let her go by, for our home landed is free, sailing home. Sailing home from the sea, sailing home.
Sailing home, sailing home across the sea, sailing home to Caledonia, sailing home, dear land to thee, sailing home, dear land to thee. Sailing home. Very good. Thank you very much for leading us back to the Erie Glen. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands